Yes, fight fans, body and mind, sports, my people. You are fully appreciated in this round, my guys, my people. Let's get right into it. So, I want to talk Jai Opetaia, the IBF and the Ring Magazine champion in the cruiserweight division. And this weekend, the 8th, he is fighting Brandon Granton in a true historical fight, for the sport of boxing. It will be a historical day for the sport of boxing, in fact, because Zuffa Boxing, this bout here will be their inaugural championship bout. So it will be the very first time that the newly proposed Zuffa belt, owned by Zuffa, is going to be on the line for two fighters to contend, and that is going to be absolutely monumental and something that will be remembered in the sport forever, my guys, my people. Regardless if Zuffa goes on to do greater things in the future or not, my guys. And more so, it will be remembered because of, the bullish nature in which they used to enter the sport, my guys, my people. They entered the sport declaring immediately that they want no dealings with the established four major sanctioning bodies. No dealings at all. They don't want them involved in their operation. They don't want to be associated with them in any way. My guys, my people. And that creates a problem for Jai, who is the IBF champion, right? He is the IBF champion. And so, is that not a conflict of interest there for Jai? Seeing that his ambitions and Zuffa's plans don't align. Jai, who has said time and time again that he wants to become undisputed at cruiserweight, before doing what everybody else wants him to do, and that's to move up to heavyweight, right? But he's adamant, I want to become cruiserweight undisputed champion first before anything else. And I actually saw an interview with Jai and Rick Reno, and Jai was saying the exact same thing, and listen, I don't know whether Jai intentionally or not intentionally signed this contract with Zuffa. And did he actually read the small print before he signed? Because this has put him in a very, very tight spot. He's already missed one opportunity to unify with the WBC champion, No McCallion. That was the original plan when he signed to Zuffa, that he was going to fight McCallion, but the WBC pulled their champion away with their belt because of the ongoing feud that the sanctioning bodies have right now with Zuffa, and their declaration that they don't want anything to do with the sanctioning bodies, my guys, my people. So yeah, it's going to be hard to become undisputed champion with his affiliation to Zuffa, my guys, my people. And look, the speculations that the IBF may or may not be on the line for this fight here, I think that it is plausible, more plausible, that the title may not be on the line. It's more plausible that the fight, that the IBF, Jai's IBF title may not be on the line. Because I noticed from that interview with Rick Reno, when Reno introduced Jai Opetaia, he introduced him just as the Ring Magazine champion. And I'm thinking, hold on, did you purposely just leave out the IBF? Did you forget that Jai Opetaia is also the IBF champion? Which is crazy, right? And for me, clear indication that Zuffa clearly does not, is putting into action its plans of actually leaving out the sanctioning bodies from their events, from their operations, right? Is an attempt there to let us know that the IBF is not going to be on the line. And in fact, according to rumors, the IBF, well, they have stated that if Jai takes this fight, then they're going to strip him of his championship. They will strip him of his championship, my guys, my people, and that is not looking good for Jai, who wants to become undisputed, right? So they're gonna have to figure out a way, him and Zuffa, how to work together and get this sorted, right? But look, the winner of Jai and Glanton will be the ring champion, because I would assume that the ring championship is going to be on the line, because if Glanton beats Jai, who holds that championship, that would mean that he's the best cruiserweight fighter. That would mean that he's the best cruiserweight fighter. So maybe then Zuffa may also sign Glanton, or may at least attempt to sign Brandon Granton, my guys, my people. And the winner would also signify the man who's actually going to be the founding father, maybe, is that the right term, or maybe the forefather of all Zuffa champions to come in the future, you know, and specifically for the cruiserweight division, my guys, my people. That is absolutely mind-blowing. That is real history right there, my guys, my people. And you know what, listen, this Zuffa belt, it's not really recognized by anybody. Nobody is attaching any respect to it at all, because it really doesn't have any history, no lineage, no legacy. Doesn't have any of the GOATs of the past or the present that have ever fought for that belt. Nobody has ever fought for that belt, my guys, my people. And so the traditional promotions, they are together in labeling the Zuffa belt a Mickey Mouse belt. You know, even Eddie Hearn himself has said several times that nobody would fight for the Zuffa belt, my guys, my people, which is absolutely wrong for making that statement. Because listen, with the money that is backing Zuffa, anybody will fight for that belt as long as the money is right, my guys, my people. But you know, it shouldn't even need to have to take money to bring any credibility to the Zuffa belt. It already has credibility. It already has credibility, because for one, it's attached to the ring, right? They're partnered with the ring, Turki Al Sheikh, who owns 60% of Zuffa Boxing, also owns the ring, and they are together. And Jai Opetaia is a ring champion, and when you hold that ring championship, it signifies that you are for true, the undisputed champion of whichever division that you represent, because that ring belt represents that you have beaten the absolute best of that division. You have beaten the man that beat the man that beat the man that beat the man, and so forth. You have beaten the man that belongs in that long lineage of lineal champions, my guys, my people. The ring belt, which a fighter can only earn if the two highest contenders, right, in the ring rankings fight one another. We are talking about a belt that established itself in 1922. So it is full of history. It is full of history, no doubt. The only belt that is older is the WBA, established in 1921, my guys, my people. Yeah, it is older. And in terms of maintaining the integrity of the sport. The ring belt supersedes all belts, and it's even greater than becoming undisputed. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it's greater than becoming undisputed. This is why. Devin the Dream Haney, right, when he beat George Kambosos to become undisputed at 135 pounds, not once but twice, because he had his first defense with Kambosos as in the rematch, right? That didn't give him the ring belt. He had all 4 belts, right? But he still wasn't seen as the absolute best in the division. To do that, right, he had to beat Lomachenko. Even though Lomachenko had been beaten already by Teofimo Lopez, and so Teofimo Lopez was the lineal champion, but with the ring belt, right? But Teo, he ran away to 140 pounds and left the ring belt vacant, right? He ran away to 140 pounds to avoid Devin the Dream Haney. And so the top 2 contenders, right, in the ring rankings then became Devin Haney, the undisputed champion without a ring belt, and Lomachenko, the number 2. And remember, I said to award somebody the ring championship, the 2 top contenders have to fight one another, and that is what happened. Devin beat Loma to be worthy of the ring belt, you know, to have possession of that ring belt, my guys, my people. Don't let anybody tell you any different, right? The ring belt is the absolute belt to have. It is greater and has real integrity compared to the other championships, which you can buy them off. You can buy them off. Look at the WBC on the line for Rico Van Haven versus Alexander Usyk. Now, Usyk, he is champion and he does have a Ring Magazine belt. So if Van Hoven beats him, well, he becomes the lineal champion. He becomes the lineal champion, my guys, my people. And you know, things are absolutely crazy in the wild, wild west, my guys, my people. Also, remember the WBC stripped Terence Bud Crawford for not paying sanctioning fees, and Crawford was like, "Get out of here with your belt, you know, go smack yourself." He told Mauricio Suleiman, president of the WBC. You know, and told them, "Look, you can strip me of my belt, all right? I'm still undisputed champion because I still got the ring belt, my guys, my people." And then we had the Shakur Stevenson situation where they stripped Shakur Stevenson of his 135-pound belt. Why? Because again, he refused to pay sanctioning fees for a belt that he didn't even fight for. Which is crazy, right? They were charging him sanction fees for fighting for the WBO strap against Teofimo Lopez at 140, and he wanted to come back down to 135. That was the plan, to you know, for him to be reinstated in his position as WBC champion, but the WBC stripped him because he won't pay sanctioning fees for a fight that he fought in a separate division and for another organization, which is crazy, right? And that was another situation where Shakur was like, "To hell with you guys, you can have your belt." But you know what is even worse with the WBC? That vacant belt, right, is going to be fought for by Lemont Roach, who has had 2 consecutive draws in his last 2 fights. First was with Tank Davis. Second was with Isaac Pitbull Cruz, right? And I'm wondering, why isn't Jade, why don't they just elevate him, right? Because yes, I mean, why don't they just elevate him or put the belt on the line for him and William Zepeda to fight for the title? Right, Zepeda is the #1 contender, right? And Jader, or whatever his last name is the interim champion. So it's either it should be elevated or fight for the title against Zepeda. How does Lemont Roach enter the equation again? It doesn't make any sense to me, except that they are just going for the bigger names in it to fight for their championship, or they could have a special alignment with the Mexican fighters, you know, with Zepeda being a Mexican fighter, the WBC being a Mexican organization, my guys, my people, because they could have just clearly elevated Jader, my guys, my people, as according to their rules. So yeah, the whole Wild Wild West is a farce, and the sanctioning bodies are the biggest farce of them all, my guys, my people. I'm telling you, Zuffa boxing is built, you know, it might be ridiculed as a Mickey Mouse belt, but because of its attachment to the ring, the history of the ring, and its legacy, right? Then do you know what? Some of that will, of course, will be embodied by Zuffa, right? Because their foundation is being set on Jai Opetaia, a Ring Magazine champion, the absolute best of its division. You know, so Zuffa is forming a branch from the Ring Magazine, basically, from the Ring Magazine. Now, I'm wondering whether that is the system that they're going to go with, where they're trying to make it a situation where they install a Ring Magazine champion for each of the Zuffa divisions. We know they are going to be operating with the 8 classic divisions of boxing. So that means no super divisions, no junior divisions, and they don't want no flyweight divisions. No flyweight, my guys, my people. So I wonder if they are trying to install a Ring Magazine champion for each, install a Ring Magazine champion as a Zuffa champion for each of those divisions, so that it can garner the same credibility that the cruiserweight champion Jai, I think, is going to garner once he holds that Zuffa championship, my guys, my people. That would be interesting. But yeah, that may also mean that Turki Al Sheikh really doesn't need Zuffa at all. Really does not need the Zuffa belt, or maybe Dana White even. So what he has done to Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn and the other promotions, where he does not want to work with them so far, it seems, right? I don't really know what's going on. Everything is just absolutely confusing. It is an absolute mess, to tell you the truth. But yeah, but who's to say he can't do it to Dana White? Who's to say he can't do it to Dana White? But the thing about Dana White, at least he has the heads up, isn't it? So yeah, let's see what happens. Now, another controversy surrounding this fight is that Zuffa Boxing will be operating as both a promotion and sanctioning body, and that is prohibited by the Muhammad Ali Act, which we know Zuffa Boxing is in the process of amending that act, but it still hasn't passed in Congress yet. So putting this event on and acting as a promotion and a sanctioning body with a belt on the line would mean a breach of that Muhammad Ali Act, my guys, my people. That rule is there, of course, to safeguard the fighters, right? It will be a conflict of their interest if they are fighting under a promotion which also represents the sanctioning body, all right, which also represents the belt on the line. Because who's to say that they couldn't give Jai Opetaia, the home fighter, a gift win? Brandon Granton is not signed to Zuffa. So there you go. So there's a lot of things about this fight that is very, very interesting when you look at it, and makes you wonder, all right, does the Muhammad Ali Act have any real you know, does it have any real enforcement behind it, or is it just a bag of words written on paper, a bag of regulations that really can't be enforced at all, my guys, my people? Unless I am wrong, then I am wrong. Right? Maybe Zuffa boxing is not breaching, but it feels like it's breaching. In fact, it looks like it is breaching because it is clearly operating as a promotion and a sanctioning body, even though their belt will be absolutely free, just like the ring belt, my guys, my people. The ring belt, did I fail to mention, it is on monetary terms the most expensive belt in the sport of boxing, I believe, and I could be wrong on this, but I think it costs around 120,000 good British pounds to make that belt. All right, so it's high value all round. It's high value all round. What Jai doesn't understand is that he is already the undisputed champion. He holds that ring belt. You are already the undisputed champion. Now, all you need is Zuffa's cash, which they have a lot of, to get you the scalps. Get you the scalps that you need. You know, the Zerdos, the McCallions, the Badu Jacks, the David Benavidez's. David Benavidez, who's going to be fighting on the 2nd of May against Zerdo Ramirez, right? For Ramirez's is it WBO and WBA straps. So you have somebody moving up from light heavyweight and getting a championship shot before Jai. That is the wild, wild west. Messy as hell. I do like that fight though, and Benavidez, he doesn't mind fighting Jai, although he does say that Jai is not really a big name and not an attractive name to fight on monetary terms, you know. But with Zuffa, with all that money, they can make anything possible for Jai. Jai, all he needs is the titles. I mean, not the titles. All he needs are the scalps, and that's it. That's it. It does not really need to become undisputed. Zuffa is attached to the ring, and Jai is the ring champion. The greatest belt of all time. The greatest and most valuable and most recognized and highly regarded ring belt. So Zuffa are onto something. Zuffa are onto something. Now, with that said, I think Jai wins, becomes Zuffa champion, but whatever comes after that, I think we just have to wait and see you know, what time this closes. Now, with that said, that's all I have for you on this one. And before you leave, do like, do share, subscribe. Of course, drop your comments below, and as always, stay super, super blessed. And we out of it.